Hello everyone, welcome to Evans Pub Publishing. In this particular video, I would be talking about the entire book publishing process. Whether you are a first-time author or a seasoned one, understanding the nuances and the various nitty-gritty in the publishing process is very essential in your publishing journey and to turn your book into a success. So let's begin. Before diving into the depths of the various publishing process and talking about the entire steps and how the publishing industry can help around these processes, let me quickly begin by talking about myself by giving a very brief introduction about myself. So hi everyone, I am Suryasri Saha, a self-published author and poet of 3 books. The first book was a novel and the other 2 books were poetry books, and I'm very fortunate to have published my book, that is the 3rd book, with Evans Pub Publishing itself. And thanks to that decision, because since then I have been able to not only recover the entire publishing expenditure but at the same time earn a lot more profit than expected. I earn royalties on a regular basis, and also at the same time I have also managed to work as a content creator for several publishing platforms as well as several independent authors, whether it's a first-time author or it's a seasoned author. I am an engineer turned author, where I am also working part-time as an author and full-time as an engineer. So my journey as an author has been very transforming, and special thanks to Evans Pub, because when I was about to publish my 3rd book, it was a conscious decision that it had to be with a publishing platform like Evans Pub, which not just publishes your book but also makes sure that it reaches the right audience, because exposure is the most essential element for your book to get a massive success. And for me, after the first 2 books, I realized that I have to be a bit wiser when it comes to my 3rd book, and hence I chose with Evans Pub Publishing. And their marketing and their branding tactics were so amazing that I definitely am going to choose Evans Pub anytime I'm publishing my 4th book. So that was all about myself, a very small yet a quick introduction. Now let us, without further ado, begin into the real subject of the video. So the very first step in the publishing process is submission of manuscript. A manuscript is a soft copy or a hard copy of your writing. So you either write it in a physical format or you write it in a form of a Word or a PDF document, and you submit it on the publishing platform's portal. And you not just submit your manuscript, you also have to sometimes provide a short synopsis or a tentative book title for your book, and maybe a short summary. Basically, what I mean by synopsis, it's a small summarization of what your book is all about. Now once you have submitted your completely updated manuscript to the publishing house would be reviewing, it would be checking what your book is all about, it would be reviewing, and then would get in touch with you and discuss the package which you are expecting to go with. That is, whether you need a basic package or an advanced package or a special package. And the publishing house would not just be talking about you with the package details and everything, but the publishing platform will try to get an idea about what is it exactly that you're trying to achieve with your book. So the very first step involves submission of manuscript and reviewing of the manuscript. The second step after reviewing of your manuscript is, I believe, one of the most crucial steps, that is editing and proofreading. Yes, editing and proofreading does have a very slight difference, and that is, editing involves some of the basic changes like correction of the spelling mistakes, correction of certain grammatical errors, at the same time correction of certain formatting errors. It can also go up to some advanced editing techniques like complete restructuring of sentences, or maybe changing the entire sentence to fit it more correctly in terms of grammar. Whereas proofreading is the final stage of editing. So it mainly deals with the last few final touches, like your punctuation errors, just your consistency errors, some spacing errors, line errors, and things like that. So that is all about your editing and proofreading. Now, once the editing and proofreading is completed, the manuscript is then sent back to the author so that he can review and just give their own basic feedbacks. Now, in Evans Pub Publishing, the best thing is that No matter how many times you check and review your manuscript, until and unless you are convinced with the editing and proofreading, they are there to support you. It's not like a one-time service or something like that. So if you're not happy with the first time draft of editing and proofreading, you can literally ask them to do the entire process all over again. So in my own experience, Evans Pub Publishing had literally done 3 to 4 rounds of editing and proofreading till I finally approved it. So that is how beautiful the entire service that has been provided by Evans Pub Publishing is. So you can be completely assured that once you submit your manuscript, it will go through not just one, but depending upon your read, several rounds of editing and proofreading. The third stage is interior designing. And as the name suggests, this deals with designing the interior of your manuscript. This is the stage where your manuscript is made professional ready, that is basically turned into a professional format so it can be more print ready. It mainly deals with the font size, the spacing, line spacing, deciding on the correct font. Say for example, depending upon your genre, whether it's a children's book or it's a poetry book, or if it's an adult genre, depending upon those, the several designs and the layouts are decided. At the same time, this is also the stage where several clip arts, graphics or pictures and images would be added to your manuscript. So interior designing is the third step where your manuscript, which was just in a very rough and raw version from the beginning where you submitted, is converted into a very print ready professional looking manuscript so that it can be converted into the perfect book that you're aiming for. The fourth step in the book publishing process is cover designing, and this is one of the most favorite parts for me at least, and also for most of the authors, because this is the stage where your manuscript gets a real cover. This cover definitely has the title of the book, the author's name, that is your name on it, and at the back of the book it will have your price, the ISBN, then the barcode, and definitely a summary about what your book really is. Now this is also a very crucial stage because publishing platforms not just makes one cover and that's it. No, this will also be sent to the author multiple times for review and also for approval. So until and unless you are happy and satisfied with the cover that goes perfectly well with the subject of your book, the publishing platform will have to keep working on it. At Evans Pub Publishing, we would be sending you several samples of the book cover that you want, depending upon your preferences and the requirements provided by you. And until and unless you're completely happy with the cover, then only the final draft gets converted or gets printed over the book. So this is the fourth stage, that is cover designing, that is the dream look of your book. The fifth stage in the publishing process is ISBN and copyright. Of course, by the name itself, copyright, we know that this is also a dream for most of the authors. Every time you get published and you publish your own book, by default, the publishing platform has to provide a copyright. That is, your book will get copyrighted by the copywriting agency. And your book will also have its unique ISBN, that is International Standard Book Number, which is very much similar to what we see in mobile phones, right? IMEI number. So this is the unique number that your book is going to get. So imagine having your ISBN at the back of your book, and at the same time in this stage, the publishing agency also makes sure that your book gets copyrighted and you have all the rights and all the essential things that is required so that nobody else can copy it without your consent. So this is the stage where your book gets its own uniqueness, that is ISBN, and you get your copyright as an author. Now the sixth stage is all about printing and ebook conversion. This is the stage when your book is finally ready for getting printed. So after your book has gone through editing, proofreading, cover designing, interior designing, copyright, ISBN, now your book is completely ready. So this is the stage where the publishing agency would be printing your book. Either it is in a ebook version or a paperback version. So you can opt for several options when it comes to paperback, whether it can have a hardcover or say a normal basic cover, or it can be a glossy cover or a shiny matte finish. So there are several options that depends upon what is your requirement and your preference, and also what is your budget. Now at the same time, in this particular stage, you also have to remember that this is completely up to you. Whether you only want ebook versions of your book or you also have a dream of holding your book in your hand as a paperback, this is completely up to you. So once this is completed and everything is done, the publishing agency also makes sure that this gets your approval throughout the process. So it's not just a one-time process. The publishing agency has to make sure that they are in line with your preferences, whether you are stuck with the glossy one or whether your genre would be better for a hardcover. It completely depends upon the author's preference. So the sixth stage and the dream stage, I believe, is printing and publishing. So this is a stage where your manuscript is finally printed, whether it's in an ebook, hardcover, or whichever cover that you like. Shiny, glossy, shimmer, matte. That's all up to you. Now the seventh stage after printing is definitely distribution of your books, distribution and listing. So this involves both online as well as offline distribution. Now at Evans Pub, online distribution can involve distribution in several online major book platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, Kindle Reads, Goodreads, Kobo, Playbooks, and offline distribution can involve distribution on several bookstores at the same time on several distributors and networks that are associated directly with Evans Pub. And last but not the least, your book is definitely going to be on the Evans Pub's online store as well, which has the collection of all the authors that have published under this banner. So distribution is a very important step. If you feel like you wish your books to be distributed on one particular online or an offline channel, then make sure that your publishing agency is aware of that, and they will definitely try to make sure that your book is available there. Because I feel like the ultimate purpose of publishing is to reach your audience, right? So that your book is able to connect with the right audience and the readers are able to find the book at the right place. So if you feel that your readers are not necessarily on Flipkart, but your readers might be more on Goodreads, your publishing agency can make it happen. At Evans Pub, we can make it happen. You just need to tell us that which is the platform that you specifically wish for your book to be available at, whether it's an offline or an online, and we can at least try from our end to make sure that it's there. So if you're going with whichever budget that you have, the basic availability is there, like Amazon, Flipkart, Goodreads, Kindle, Kobo, ebook versions online, or whether it's an offline like some of the major stores or some of the networks which are directly associated with us. So this is a stage called distribution, and of course stage. Once your manuscript is printed, it is distributed in all the major platforms. It has to be visible. That is, the readers has to be aware that there is this new arrival, there is this new release. So at Evans Pub, we provide a lots of marketing and promotion packages, mainly depending upon the author's preferences and his budget or the package that he has selected. Whether it's a social media promotion on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, on all the major social media sites, or it's some of the basic and the most crucial marketing techniques like book reviews, author interviews, newspaper coverages, podcasting of the authors, live author podcast, press releases on some of the major platforms or major newspapers like Tribute, Google News, ANI, as well as Times of India. At Evans Pub, you find all of those options. At the same time, you can also opt for big event launches of the book, that is the big book launch events that you usually witness. So depending upon what is your dream and goal for your book, you can find the right marketing and promotion tactics. At Evans Pub, we also provide you with Google ads, Facebook ads, Amazon ads, and several other advertising techniques to make sure that your book is available and made aware to the right readers. Because once your book is completed and everything is done, all the work is done, I believe the most important thing is the exposure it gets. So until and unless the exposure is right, until and unless the marketing and promotion tactics are correct, your book might not be able to do justice with your writing. So in order to make sure that your book is able to fulfill your dreams of becoming a successful author, the marketing and promotion tactics also has to be equally aligned. So this is the 10th stage in the book distribution process or the book publishing process, that is marketing and promotion. Now your book has been published, it has been distributed to all the major platforms, and the marketing and promotion is also on point. Now what? Royalty. Definitely. Now the 11th stage in a book publishing process is all about royalty and sales. And as you know that this is the stage where every time an author's book gets sold, the author gets a royalty in return from the publishing platform. So this percentage usually depends on several factors, like what is the e-commerce platform on which the books are distributed, because different platforms will usually give you different royalties depending upon the charge that that particular e-commerce platform is taking for your book to be hosted, or basically for your book to be available. And it also depends sometimes upon the publishing agencies. Some of them provides you with like 100% royalty, some provides you with say 80% royalty. It totally depends upon your preferences and the e-commerce as well as the publishing agencies working alignment. So this is the stage where the author finally starts earning money. And at Evans Pub, you get a proper specific author's dashboard where you get to see the entire data, whether it's your monthly sales data or it's your entire number of books that are getting sold in a current month, in a current day or a current week, the amount of royalty, and also the platform where it got sold, that is from where the readers bought it. It can all be visible on that author's dashboard. So just a quick experience I can share with you all. That is, when I had published my book with Evans Pub, I remember I received my very own author's dashboard, and it was just so easy to use and just maneuver around the things. It was just like one click, just log in into it, and in front of you, you can see entire details about the number of books which are getting sold, the platforms from where those books are getting sold, and what is the amount or the royalty that has been credited. Once an author publishes their book and it is distributed and made available on several online and offline stores, then make sure that you have become an author for a lifetime. That is, we provide you support for a lifetime. Your book would be available on those online platforms throughout the life, all the time, until and unless those platforms are expiring or those platforms are themselves shutting down. Now that's a rare case scenario, but other than that, if you have published your book under Evans Pub, then that is available online for a lifetime. And for offline stores, it usually depends, like you can change it, right? Like mix and match. So if you wish to make your books available or at, say for example, a offline store for a few months, then maybe for the next few months, if you wish, you can also opt for say some other like XYZ offline store. So it totally depends upon the author's preference, but be rest assured that once you have published your book with Evans Pub, we are there to support you for the entire journey. It's not just a one book deal kind of a thing. Your book is available online for a lifetime, and you can call yourself an author for life. So that's how the relationship works. And at the same time, we also offer you upgradation services. That is where you have already published a book and you wish to now avail for newer promotion techniques, newer marketing techniques, or you wish to upgrade your budget. So now you have more budget and you wish to add some major platforms to your availability of the books or some new marketing or promotion techniques. So those supports are also given at Evans Pub. And at the same time, last but not the least, every time you need a support, we are just a call away. Evans Pub Publishing has just been a call away. I mean, I remember in my case, it's been so many years since I have published my book. I still always get in touch with them about my dashboard, royalties, how it is affecting, how I can upgrade those books with the help of marketing and promotion techniques, if I can reprint those books, because if I have a lack of my physical copies, because every time you're publishing with Evans Pub, you by default also get few free paperback copies, now few posters which you can share with your friends, your business cards, and all these perks are also available, the details of which you can definitely get in touch more with an executive when you would be calling on the available support numbers. So I remember from experience, when I had published my book, it was years back, but till now I get support from publishing platform like Evans Pub, because I can just call them up anytime and discuss if there is any new marketing or promotion technique that I can avail. So this is a very important stage, that is post publishing support, because your book is not there just for a season, it's there for a lifetime. It's available to the readers whenever and wherever they wish to read it. So that's why it is very essential that it's there and it's authentic and it's genuine and it's for a lifetime. So to quickly summarize, publishing begins with submission of your manuscript, then you have your editing, proofreading, Then you have the interior designing, cover designing, getting your ISBN, that is International Standard Book Number, and the copyright for your book. And then finally the printing, ebook conversion, printing and publishing, distribution and listing on all the major platforms, whether online or offline bookstores. And then the marketing and distribution, that is marketing and promotion, which is the most important, that comes right after distribution. And last but not the least, post publishing lifetime support. So this is the entire walkthrough of the publishing process, but also at the same time at Evans Pub, you can also publish children's genre books. We do not really have any restrictions. So Evans Pub does not provide any restrictions, whether it's a children's genre, as I said in the very beginning of the video, it's an adult genre, a rom-com, a romantic, a fiction, a science, sci-fi kind of, any fiction or any genre you write in, Evans Pub Publishing would be there to publish your book in that particular genre. And especially for children's books, Evans Pub also provides you with specialized clip arts, images, graphics, or comic books if you wish to publish. That is also available at Evans Pub. And also the major perk here is multi-language publishing. That is, if you are an author who writes in Bengali or Hindi and you have the entire manuscript written in your local language, say Hindi or Bengali, then Evans Pub will also be providing you with the language conversion services. That is, somebody will actually be writing the entire manuscript, converting it into English if you want it to happen. Otherwise, it will simply publish it in your local language, that is Bengali. But if you are somebody who has written in Bengali and you wish to publish in both Bengali as well as in English, so those services are also provided at Evans Pub, which I believe is one of the most best parts, because as an author, language should never be a restriction. Like if I wish to write in my local language, I should have that freedom. At the same time, if I want that to be reaching majority and mass, then I might also want that, okay, not only local language, but my book should also be available in English. So that is also possible at Evans Pub, and that I feel is really one of the perks of getting published at Evans Pub. You can just mix and match, you can change anytime you wish to, you can upgrade anytime you wish to. So that would be all for this particular video. I know this video is a bit long, but that was very much essential and crucial. Whether you are a new author or a seasoned author who has been writing and in this publishing journey since a long time, I feel that understanding the nitty-gritty is the most essential process in your dream and journey of becoming a successful author. Thank you so much.